What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisor.com NBA DFS video. We're bringing home the bacon on this Monday, this April 12th. We're going to switch it up a little bit. So the past couple of months with NBA, the articles, the videos, they've been with our matchup tool, which is a great resource. But what we're finding is each position is just slightly... the average fantasy points given up to each position is slightly different by like 0.2 or something like that. So while the matchup tool is good, if you just go in order with it, some of the plays might not be the best because, they're, like, let's say one team's given up 50.2 fantasy points to the position. The team below that's given up 50.1. So both are great options, but they're so close that there's other options. So we're going to try this again. We're going to go back to the bread and butter that we've done the past 5 years when we do these videos and articles. In the article, what we're going to discuss right now, we're going to give 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 value picks at each position and projections. So with NBA, you either do or don't know, but NBA is one of those DFS sports that are the easiest to project out. Just because you kind of figure out who's going to get the most amount of minutes, minus like the value plays that are in there for the day. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through each position. We're going to go through the Vegas numbers first, then each position. Then we've got value plays, and we've got top plays and value plays at the bottom. And then we're going to go over any news and notes for the slate, stuff like that real quick. So hopefully this video helps you. If it does, hit that like button. If this video gets 30 likes, we will, just like our MLB video, we will post a FanDuel and DraftKings GPP lineup down below in the description of the video, or in the comment section, and we'll pin that for you. So 35 likes for that. You can always sign up, fantasyteamadvisors.com/plans. Use promo code YouTube21. You're going to get half off a month. The month pass is going to give you every single sport. We do offer a day pass for $1.99 that gets you any of the day sports. So NBA and MLB right now. So that being said, excuse my voice, we do have some great matchups. We're going to look at what games are being offered. We're going to look at the Vegas odds here. So the first game on the slate, the Lakers at the Knicks. The Knicks are open up as a 3-point favorite at home. Over-under of 205.5. Philly at Dallas with Philly on the road at 2.5 favorites. 224.5 over-under. You got San Antonio at Orlando. San Antonio open up as a 6.5-point favorite on the road with a 220.5 over-under. Brooklyn at Minnesota. Over-under of 240. Brooklyn open up as a 9.5-point favorite now. James Harden is out. Kyrie is taking a personal day for whatever that means. So there's going to be a lot of value open up in Brooklyn. Again, though, the slate came out with the pricing that Irving would be in there. So there is a lot of value to open up, but a lot of people are going to be using that value. So value for cash, I don't mind. And we'll go over that as well. Washington at Utah. Utah open up at home as a 13.5-point favorites with a 234 over-under. Chicago at Memphis. Memphis open up as a 2.5-point favorite at home, 229 over-under. Sacramento at New Orleans. New Orleans is open up as a 3.5-point favorite at home, 231.5. Denver at Golden State. Denver's actually a 3.5-point favorite on the road, 229.5 total. And Houston at Phoenix. Phoenix is open up as a 13-point favorite with a 227.5 over-under here. So, jumping into the point guard position, the top 3. Now, these are not the only plays that we like. These are not the only player pool plays that we have. But I wanted to bring you some of these from our cheat sheet. So, these will be from the cheat sheet. By the time you watch this video, it may have changed. Some of these projections were obviously with NBA, a lot of news comes out throughout the day. We have some early news, so we know, so we can project a little bit, but obviously if other players are out, the projections are going to go up or down. So just bear in mind, while this is a great starting point, it's always good to be part of our cheat sheet it's always good to be part of FTA Plus to get that up-to-the-minute news if we do change our projections. So, looking at this, point guard, Steph Curry projected right around 54 fantasy points. And our projections, they're normally plus or minus 5 on each side, just depending. As you know, though, Curry can go off for 80 if needed. So, Jonas Valanciunas is a good example of that. Yesterday, we had him projected at like 45, and he went off for like 68 on FanDuel. He just went absolutely crazy. We got Luka here at 50 fantasy points, and Westbrook also at 50 fantasy points. Westbrook obviously will jump up in projections if other Washington players are out, so that's something to look at. Mid-tier picks at point guard, Lonzo Ball at 35 fantasy points, Ja Morant at 35, and Dennis Schroeder at 32. Now, Schroeder did get ejected along with Kyrie on Saturday for whatever reason. So definitely pay attention there. He should play. I don't think he'll be suspended. I think he should be good. But Dennis Schroeder here, pay attention to this news, but I do like him for about 32 to 35. And then value plays here, Derrick Rose at 25 fantasy points, Tomas Satoransky at 25, and Michael Carter-Williams 22 to 25. Now, MCW, he's either going off or he's having a weird game where he's doing stupid stuff on the court. He's more of a GPP play for me. I don't think I'm going to trust him in cash unless he helps open up value other places. Shooting guards here. Top plays here, Donovan Mitchell at 52 fantasy points, Devin Booker at 45, DeMar DeRozan at 39. Mid-tier at shooting guard, Andrew Wiggins 35, Joe Ingles 30, Tyrese Halliburton at 30. And then value picks here, Bruce Brown at 29, going to bump up there with Irving and Harden out. I can't imagine how much value would open up if Durant was also out, which he could be. He missed a lot of time. He could need a day of rest, so definitely pay attention there. And then value plays, Bruce Brown 29, Eric Bledsoe 26, Alec Burks 22. Moving to the small forward, we do have Kevin Durant. I don't know if he's going to be on any sort of, let's see if he's on any sort of minutes restriction, what he's coming off of. He's probably going to be on a minutes restriction for the fact that he played 23 minutes his last game, April 10th, had 22 points in 22 minutes, 32.9 fantasy points on FanDuel. Against New Orleans, 18 minutes with 17 points. So when he's in, he's getting about a point per minute. Seeing as how Kyrie's out, seeing as how Harden is out, I don't know how you don't go with Durant. His price is still kind of, it's 90, what is it? His price is 9,400. If he doesn't get more than like 27 minutes, I don't know how you pay that off. But again, you might want to throw him in there just because he's the main guy on this team right now with everybody out. So that is definitely something to look at. Brandon Ingram at 39 fantasy points, Anthony Edwards at 36. Your mid-tier picks here, Kyle Anderson 31, Joe Harris 30, and RJ Barrett 30. And then value picks here, Kevin Porter Jr. at 27, Josh Richardson 24, and Keldon Johnson 24 fantasy points. Moving to the power forward position today, at the top here, we used him yesterday. I like him in this one. We got Zion here at 50 fantasy points, Julius Randle at 44, Kristaps Porzingis at 39. Mid-tier, Harrison Barnes 29, Aaron Gordon 27, and Jaden McDaniels 26 fantasy points. And then your value picks here, Jake Crowder at 24, Royce O'Neal at 23, and Brandon Clark at 22 fantasy points. Now moving to center, normally I don't like to pay down at center unless huge value opens up, and we'll see if that happens. We're projecting out here, but normally, especially on FanDuel where you can only have one center, unless they're playing center in real life and they're like power forward or small forward eligible on FanDuel. I usually, with one center, I'll pay up normally. There are those one-offs, so definitely. But I love Karl Anthony Towns here. I think he could be in store to score the most amount of fantasy points on this slate. I got him projected at 55 fantasy points. Nikola Jokic at 54, so it's super close. And Denver's projected to win at Golden State. So Nikola might be a good option there. And Joel Embiid at 46 fantasy points. Moving down, Nikola Vucevic at 44. Jonas Valanciunas at 40, who just dominated for us yesterday. I think he got 65 or 68 on FanDuel. And then Riqwon Holmes at 36. And then if you are inclined to go value at center, Mo Bamba, 27 to 30 fantasy points. Steven Adams, 23, except he splits minutes, so I don't like that as much. And Nerlens Noel at 22 fantasy points. So looking at some of my top plays here, Karl Anthony Towns, Steph Curry, and Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton's going to find that value because he's most likely going to be shot into the starting role with everyone out in Brooklyn. And then value plays here, Nick Claxton is the top value play on the slate so far. Chris Chiozza, same thing if he plays. Kevin Looney and Joe Harris. As you can see, the value will be found on this Brooklyn Nets team. It depends who's going to start. It depends if anyone's on a minutes restriction, especially if Durant is on a minutes restriction. Then there's so much value that will open up. Just some news and notes looking at, like I said, people who are out. James Harden is out with a hamstring. Kyrie Irving is out with personal. Anthony Davis is out. I mean, there's big names out. Bradley Beal is game time decision. If Beal is, he's probable though. If for some, I mean, we've gotten screwed by his probable tag a lot. If Beal is out, that would obviously jump up Westbrook a ton. Jamal Murray, game time decision with a knee. He was out yesterday. We'll see if he's out again today. Tobias Harris, game time decision with a knee as well. He's not on Monday's injury report, but again, if you're building your lineup, a knee is a big deal when you're running up and down a court. So put that into your mind when you're building your lineups. Lonzo Ball, game time decision with a hip. He was out yesterday. Missed his second game. If Lonzo Ball is out, Kyra Lewis Jr. will take value there. So Lonzo Ball, definitely pay attention. If Ball is out, Lewis could be in for value. Kyle Kuzma, game time decision with the calf. He is questionable. Wesley Matthews and Marc Gasol are also questionable. So, I mean, there could be a lot of value open up for the Lakers. They did win against Brooklyn on Saturday. But, yeah, so, I mean, if everyone's out, Dennis Schroeder would make a fantastic option as long as he plays with Braun being out, Kuzma possibly being out, Marc Gasol, Wesley I mean, when you think Lakers, you don't think whoever's going to be stringing together some plays in this one. So that is something to look at. Mike Conley is out with a hamstring. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is out with an ankle, so that opens a little bit more value out, a value up for New Orleans. Kelly Oubre Jr. is out here, so he was taking away some looks from Curry, so that's why Curry's up there. Chuma Okeke, I think that's how you say his name, didn't play yesterday. Soreness in the right hip, so he is out. Jordan Clarkson for Utah, game time decision with an ankle, doubtful for Monday, so that opens up some there. LaMarcus Aldridge is out. He's still on COVID-19 protocols. So who opens up, or he's got non-COVID. So that opens up some places here for Brooklyn with Aldridge being out. Again, Brooklyn's going to be the huge value on the whole entire slate. Marvin Bagley is out with his hand still, obviously. He's completing his rehab. He hasn't played since March 15th, so a little bit of value opens up for the Kings over this time. Otto Porter, game time decision. He was out yesterday. This is another place where something could open up for the Magic. So, yeah, James Wiseman's out for Golden State, so he's got a torn, I guess he tore his meniscus on Saturday, so he's out for the season, which kind of sucks, but that does open up some value for Golden State with centers. Just kind of looking who that would open up for. Let's see. Kevin Looney, he was part of value plays, like I said. when James Wiseman tore his ACL on Saturday. Looney went 21 points on FanDuel at 3,700. He got 18.7 fantasy points. Should be thrown into the starting role here. Should see 25, 30 plus minutes. For his price at 3,700, Kevin Looney might be the top value pick here. So just a little bit of insight into my mind, into looking at projections, building these projections out for you. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button. If you want to win a free day pass, all you got to do is be a subscriber, like the video, and tell me what player is going to score the most amount of FanDuel fantasy points on this slate and how many fantasy points are they going to score. If you get that correct, you get a day pass. Whoever gets it closest without going over. With the NBA tab, a lot of free content as well. We got Vegas odds, got the 2021 stats that's updated by noon every day. The NBA DFS tool, which you're used to. The enhanced matchup tool, which gives a lot of information for you. The DFS cheat sheets and the DFS lineup. So you can go to fantasyteamadvisors.com/plans, use promo code YouTube21. You're going to get half off a month. That month is going to include MMA, MLB, NASCAR, NBA, PGA for you. So that's what I've got in this video. If you found it helpful, hit that like button. Again, if we get 35 likes, we'll throw out a FanDuel and DraftKings GPP lineup in the comment section below. Good luck on this slate, guys. Don't forget to check all of our social media down below and click the link to the Discord channel to become part of the community that we got. I think we got like 160, 180 people that are part of the community. So that's what I've got, guys. Good luck today. And as always, bring home that bacon. Peace.